Oh, someone's here.
Let me go get a cough drop. Just
Okay.
in case. We'll tap and clean. Hello, hello. 831240. Can you say hi?
Hi, this is Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Oh, hey.
Yay, glad you're with us.
Is this Dina?
It is. My voice is
Hi.
a little craggy tonight, so hopefully I can get through this.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever done Zoom before?
You know what? I haven't. No. Is it visual and audio, or is it just a call-in?
It is visual and audio. I think to get the visual, you have to set up a Zoom account, which is like answering 4 questions, something like that.
So are you doing that? Are you doing video?
Yeah.
Oh.
So right now I just see your number, but like if you were to sign into Zoom and you're sitting in front of a device that has some kind of camera, it's like Facebook, not Facebook Live or Skyping.
Right.
And you can see the other participants and everything too. So,
oh, yeah. Okay. I think I've done that on something else before. That's kind of cool. Well,
yeah.
I'll have to do that next time. I was just driving home for my commute, so I dialed in.
Okay. You know, that's what Lynette said too. Well, we run out of time towards the end, so I'm going to just kind of jump in. Have you been able to do some of the other trainings? Renee?
Yeah, I've done. I've watched a few of the videos, and I ordered a few business material items. So kind of setting a few things up. But so tell me.
Did we lose you? I think we lost you. I think you just went mute. Oh, no, it's reception. I just heard it. Oh,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you again. So tell you what.
Okay.
These can kind of be standalone things. So tonight is going to be week 5. And we are kind of moving on to some additional skills called customer care. So,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be doing some customer care calls and how you turn those into future business in what I call a soft sell, needs-based selling kind of way. So, we lost her. Okay, hopefully Renee will join us back again. All right, so as a review, kind of what we've gone on, what we've been working on are the 4 pillars of success, which is belief, passion, skill, and will. And we started off with product knowledge and how that maximizes our sales and our bookings by really knowing where things are in the catalog, multiple uses for items, little stories to go with products, how people can use them in their kitchen, multiple uses, I think I said that already, for each product, selling in groupings of things that go together, how our cookware and our rock crocs and everything can be that little black dress in your kitchen, which are your basics like cutlery and knives, and then other things are more like accessories. So there have been some pretty good videos. It also really kind of stressed that the belief decides on what you can be and what you can do, and that your brain can be retrained. And really, what we tell ourselves is so crucial to our success. We've also talked about how to get shows outside of shows, how to book, and then how to book successfully at our parties, and the words to say at both. How passion and how much you believe in what you're selling and what you're doing, how that influences purchases and bookings of parties. Then the huge elephant in the room, host coaching, and how really it affects everything. It helps with your sales, your recruiting, your bookings, your future business, just, how your hostesses think about you. It's really, one of the pivotal pieces where you can really start to get bigger shows and bigger paychecks, so host coaching. Then the skill and will part of it is, your skill is your product knowledge, how you present things, how you entice people, how you follow up, the systems you have. And the will is how often you do it, Are you somebody who knows that there's going to be a learning curve, that you're going to have to either work on different parts of your business? Everybody's different. I had somebody who was struggling with the software portion. They were really tech savvy, and they were frustrated, about 5 years ago on our software. And until they could fix the belief in their head about that, it was affecting everything else in their business. So that's kind of a huge thing is, do you have the will to overcome things that are frustrating for you, to figure out when you can fit this in? One time a gal asked me Dina, I don't know how you do this with kids. And I just said, well, I either stay up late or get up early. You know, it was important to me to earn the money for the pool pass and for some of the extra things. And so I knew it was about my kids, but I wanted to work it around my family's needs. And so I either got up early, not very often, or I stayed up late, which was my preference to get everything done that I needed to get done. And I was so excited about the way my business was growing and going that it was worth it for me as well as my family. And then about recruiting. You know, we went over the recruiting cards 2 weeks ago on our fourth call, and we talked about recruiting as just a conversation. And that, you know, we want people to tell us about their interests. And so, you know, we use the digital recruiting cards from that. I'm going to be doing a director bound training tonight. We're going to do that again as another review. We'll see how close to script I am on both this training and the training with Director Beyond. You know, maybe there'll be something different. I kind of do it a little bit different. After 25 years in the business with Pampered Chef and another 10 with another company, you know, I add different things each time. I kind of focused on it. I kind of have a fun thing to show on recruiting tonight, a little flyer that I do a little bit of additional clipping with. Okay, and we are still building our skills. The biggest thing I wrote down when I saw this is that, you know, we should be in a constant state of learning, whether it's on our personal development or whether it's on our business. Every time we have a new season, we have an opportunity to learn more about products and go back and learn more about other products that go with those new products. And, you know, we've just gone over a lot. So if you've missed anything, just go back. I was calling this week and welcoming a new consultant back to the team. She was somebody who had stepped away for a while, and she came back, and I gave her a quick little call, and we were talking about these additional trainings that were on here, and I had an epiphany. We used to have little slots on every consultant agreement that people signed where they planned for success by saying, here are the dates of my next 4 shows. At one time it was 6 shows. And we found that our recruiting went way down because people don't want to lie and they really don't know and have everything in place. And if you ask people to make too big of a commitment in the very beginning before they even know how everything is going, that a lot of times people back out. And so I realized with this course, 6 Weeks to Success, and also our Director Bound course, that we were asking people to make some commitments. And that was scaring people. And so really, the only commitment that I would like people to make right now is that they're going to grow and they're going to take this seriously. Because I think if you try things and you're having a good time and you see success, then of course you're going to want to continue. So, you know, that was a little epiphany that I had, that maybe some of you think that we have these expectations for you, and you should be setting those expectations for yourselves. And there's also just fun things to try. If you're on the company's website or Chef Success or any of these things, you're going to see people are having success this time of year by making pumpkin donuts in our new mini fluted pans and making a dozen of them at a time and taking them to work. They're baked healthy donuts. So, you know, that's available too. And so, you know, when you have something that you think is new and exciting or is the right time of the year, definitely. I know my daughter loves pumpkin, all things pumpkin. She's even found pumpkin yogurt that she likes. I think one of my favorite flavors of ice cream, 1 or 2, can't really tell you, is pumpkin ice cream. I love pumpkin ice cream. And every once in a while, some of the Dairy Queen, McDonald's have pumpkin shakes. and they are delicious. Pumpkin ice cream is just like that. Well, maybe a little more intense than the shake. Anyhow, it's that time of year. And so I think we'll be coming up with a pumpkin ice cream recipe for our ice cream maker so that we can share that, because that is one of my favorite little products for the summer. I know that Pampered Chef is building on that product line, so it is going to be fantastic. You know, we're just going to continue to have fun with the ice cream maker and the drizzler and the retro Tiffany blue line that we have right now. Okay, so last week we had the interviews. Were there any questions about conducting the interview? Did anybody practice any of those kinds of things? And do you feel prepared and able to do it easily? You know, we want it to be a conversation with them. We are leading and guiding them. One of the ways that I've always started the conversation out that I think works really well is, you know, I'd like to take you back to the night of the show when you check that box that you were interested in getting a little more information on the company. What do you think you saw or heard in the catalog or at the show, or something that was said, or maybe somebody whispered to you, or something from your past that made you check that box? So that is just a little line that I use that might be a little bit different than the company, but it flows off my tongue really well. It makes it about them. And because I asked them to go back to the night of the party, they realized that they did indicate that they wanted the information, and this helps them remember what got them excited. And sometimes, you know, I have to fill in the blanks by giving them some A, B, or C kinds of, you know, examples of what might have tripped or triggered by different things that were said or shared that night, the new product line that I'd gotten for free as a director, whatever it was. Okay. So now today we are going to jump in to customer service. And this is something that sets department stores apart. I know two of my sister-in-laws were department managers for Nordstrom's, and they were all about excellent customer service. If the girls working on the sales floor had any downtime, they were writing thank you cards or making follow-up phone calls for people, or going through a new line and seeing if there was something that a customer had purchased in the past that maybe came out in a new color. And, you know, they really worked on their customer service, and that's what makes Nordstrom's Nordstrom's. So are you going to be the one-night stand consultant, or are you going to be the consultant that builds relationships? Relationships is what creates loyalty to people, and good customer service is, you know, this is kind of a fun little cartoon here. You know, I love the one where the girl's got bug eyes and she's got the squirrel on her shoulder, because that's me. You know, I can get distracted. That's one of the reasons why at a show, I make a little pile next to my area, my cutting board. I do a station style show, or a hybrid of a station style show, where if I want to make sure I've talked about a rock crock, I put the lid upside down. If I want to make sure I want to talk about Roundup for the Heart, you know, I would have different products. The outlet, I might have, you know, something that's pink sitting there, and I make a little pile. And so instead of having to have a flip chart or anything like that, I just move my pile from the left to the right when I'm done with all my key things that I want to talk about. And that's one of the ways that helps me stay focused, because I can be the girl with the squirrel on her shoulder and get distracted. So another thing is, if you talk too long on the phone, you know, if you just say, do you have a quick minute with somebody, and then you end up taking an hour of their time, you know, if they want to talk some more, you just say, oh, I'd love to call you back and we can schedule more time. But right now, I want to respect your time, and, you know, I don't want to talk too long. I don't want to keep you on the phone. Or whatever it is that you have as your little system, but bad customer service can be talking too long on the phone. So just remember that people value their time. Another thing is, if something's gone wrong, do you let them know, and do you take the blame? You know, what do you do, and how do you make it right? And then, you know, if you're too bossy, we've all heard about the gal who slams her chopper down, everything. At executive seminar last week, they read a email that a consultant had shared with home office that she got from a customer that said, you know, hey, you were really bossy at the show, and you told us that we couldn't talk for 45 minutes, and that you needed to listen to, that we needed to listen to her, and we were all there to have a good time. And it went on and it explained, and the girl actually shared it because she had the opportunity to change, you know. So remember that building relationships and trying to do things, you know, the right way really is where we get loyalty and repeat customers. So you've already trained your hostess on how to have a good show. You want to build that rapport with her. If you tell her you're going to have 3 5-minute phone calls and it's 3-hour phone calls, she's not going to be really happy to have another show with you. So just remember that. So another thing that I do in my phone is I have created a contact for myself. So, you know, I used to ask people, could you please put me in your phone as Pampered Dina? And I found that some people did that, but if I could just make this little contact for myself. Okay, you can't see me. I'm holding this up right now. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So here is my contact for myself that I can easily have them open a text. I open the text and I say, would you put your phone number in there? And I will text all of you my contact information. And I said, you might not remember my name, but as soon as you put in Pampered, it's going to come up in your contacts. And when you do need a Pampered Chef consultant, I hope that you remember to look up your contacts and you'll be able to find it. So anybody who's on the call tonight, we can just text that to you right now. Okay, and so then I just go, if I'm just dealing with one person, I go to share contacts, and I'm going to message it to them. So I'm putting in your phone number. Whoops. Okay, and as quick as that, I've texted you my contact information, and I hope they're going to push save and put me into their contacts. And when you do this at a show, it works really great. You can just kind of pass your phone around. Everybody's adding their phone number, and then you can just do it all at once. The other thing is they just gave you their phone number. So then I can just go back and go, oh, I have your phone number. Let me go ahead and add a contact. And I put it in this Pampered Chef customer under business, so I know how, and then, if, you know, obviously if they turn into a Pampered Chef hostess, I can go ahead and put that in my phone as Pampered Chef hostess, doing a quick little edit. So hopefully that's helpful to you. I'm going to go back into share. Okay, so, but we want them to like us, so we want to be fun. Everybody has a bad night. I do want to like stress that because they're going to come up to you. Hopefully they're going to say, you're the best consultant I've ever seen. I just love you. The last girl, did this and that and blah, 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 blah. The best thing you can do is just say, oh, it sounds like she had a bad night. And then just say, well, thank you for your compliment and go on. But don't elaborate with them. Don't try to get more information about the situation. Just let it go. That's taking precious time away from you building a relationship. And you never know, that person will turn around and tell the other consultant, yeah, and so doesn't like you either, and get you involved. And you might not even know her. So remember to say, oh, it sounds like she had a bad night. And then let it go. So one good customer experience can change a customer's entire perception about you and your business. One thing that I was trained in the beginning years ago is that when you do something right, people go home and they tell 3 people. When you do something wrong, they go home and they tell 10 to 15 people. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to try to have positive experiences for our consultants, because everybody loves to tell a rotten story. That's why our news is filled with rotten stories, is because for some reason people like to hear them. So what we want to do is we want to have as many good experiences ever. And you should rate yourself too. I know I can do better. I know I'm not the perfect consultant. I know that sometimes I'm firing on all cylinders. Sometimes I'm good at part of the business. Sometimes I'm not. And I have to recommit to do a better job. So just, a little self-check here. Customers are our greatest asset and our hostesses. So maintaining relationships is one of the most important elements of your business. So you want to keep them happy, coming back. And that's going to help you earn more money, and that's going to have people join your team. So, of course, it's important to consistently add new customers to your list. And that list is probably something like your email contact list or constant contact, or maybe you have a paper system. I know that I'm using the company system now, and I'm loving it, and I'm adding more people to it all the time. And that's one of my goals, is to keep adding more people, keep meeting people outside of my circle, so that I can keep having just this constant flow. People change their emails, you lose people, people move. And so it's just really important to keep adding people to our list all the time. Taking time to provide ongoing customer service will result in customer loyalty, more sales, and a healthy business. That customer loyalty can also be to our brand. As a director in the company, we get leads, and people can go online and they can choose based on websites who they want to use. Pampered Chef distributes these leads through their active directors, and they consider an active director selling $12.50 every single month. I know it's important to me. I enjoy those leads. You don't always know they're a lead because somebody can just buy from you from your website, and unless you can remember every single person you've ever dealt with and every single name, you might not know, especially if they don't want to be contacted, you might not know where that came from. But I often will ask them, so how'd you hear about me? Or they start the conversation with, I contacted the company and then I looked at several websites and I chose you. Obviously, I know that that's a company lead. So let's introduce the 222 method of customer service. In the past, we called them the Big Mac, the morning after calls, or just when to call your customer. When do they want you to call them is more important. If you knew you could increase your business up to 50%, would you be interested in hearing more? If so, the 222 customer care call system may be for you. This is a 3-call system guaranteed to bring you more business, and think of these calls as an opportunity to build trust or relationships with your customers and not to bug them. Remember, keeping the calls brief is one of the keys for them enjoying the contact that you have with them. So, first, let people get to know you. One of the things that you can do is anytime you get a drawing slip, just one of my drawing slips that we have in the big binder of Hostess coaching, where I clip the drawing slip to the Hostess coaching page. You go back a little bit, there should be some in there. Anyhow, I'm going to show you something, a visual here. If you write something down about the person that you meet, that they're moving to a new house, or they're planning a wedding, the dog's been sick, somebody's in the hospital, and when they want you to get back with them. So here's a little drawing slip right here. Oh, we're going to go back to a share. Okay, right here. And see how I wrote on here, daughter was Brittany and the granddaughter. So the 3 of them all came up together and said that they wanted to have a show. And so I wrote a little note, because I definitely would remember that it was 3 generations that came up to the booth, and I wrote that down. But you can write on the back of it. I have a great planner system where I hole punch things, and now when I have a contact drawing slip that I want to follow up on a certain day, I'll just put it in my hole punch right here, and then I'm able to add it to my planner by punching it in, and then I can keep it with my host coaching sheets right here. So again, I wrote down daughter and grandbaby, stuff like that, to help me remember who that person was, because I met her at the Christmas vendor event that I do. So just, some kind of little system right here. So, So, there's a saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's really important. When you remember, oh yes, I met you with your daughter and your granddaughter, how's the baby doing, those kinds of things. People, they feel like you cared enough to remember about them. So the purpose of the call is to say thank you, to give them any customer service, recipes, answer any questions on the products, and to see if there's anything that they need in the future. And, you just quickly find out a little bit about them, what's going on in their life. If the dog, has gotten better, and sometimes you get bad news and the dog hasn't gotten better. You just say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I was just calling because I just wanted to thank you for your business. I wanted to give you any customer service that you needed. I hate to hear that products are still in the box and that people aren't using them. And so I wanted to encourage you to take it out of the box right away, make sure there aren't any defects, because we have a month to get it sent back to the company without any shipping on your part. It'll get picked up from your house or the hostess's house. And I wanted to make sure you had plenty of recipes and ideas for this product, and then also to see if there's anything I can do for you in the future. I don't say sales. I say, is there anything I can do for you in the future? And a lot of times people will say, well, I needed something, but I just had to split it up, or I had to come home and look, or whatever, and you get additional sales. Okay, so within 2 days after the show, so that's the first 2 days. Again, because some people are on direct ship, some people, you are getting their orders right away. So then you can do that customer service if there's anything that needs to go back or whatever. But if people aren't on direct ship, then they still have time to add to their order without any additional shipping. So that's really a great reason to call within 2 days. And to encourage people, now when you get your stuff, it's going to be shipped to your hostess. So make sure you get with her promptly to pick it up so that you have time to look at everything over and make sure it's in good condition. Sometimes our postal service companies use boxes as footballs, and we just never know how everything is going to ship, and we just want to check with you. We do our best to get things packed properly, but we do get the most of our orders at the end of the month, and so sometimes it gets crazy on our end too. And I would love, love, love if you're cooking with your products that night, if you and your girlfriends had snapshots, if maybe we could post it to the Facebook page, anything like that, or after you start using it at home, if you could send me pictures too. That always keeps my Facebook page fresh. So again, you want to thank them for coming. You want to reiterate how much fun it is. If you didn't get bookings, you definitely want to say, oh, I had so much fun with this group, but we didn't get any bookings. I wanted to check with everybody who was there to see if I missed somebody, and maybe somebody that's at the party. I heard a lot of people said they couldn't buy it all at once and that they wanted to come back. Or I could send you what the monthly specials are and some new fresh ideas for recipes for our holiday season. Okay, so did you know that about 8% of the people will go home from your party thinking about what they didn't buy and add to their order? And you will have a 20% increase of your bookings. So if it means that you make 10 phone calls, you should get an average of 2 bookings. You may not start off with this average, but it will increase as you practice and you gain confidence. So it's definitely something worthwhile. And if it isn't working for you and you're not getting those percentages, check with me, check with your director. Let's make sure that there's not just a quick little tweak we can make to give you this kind of success. So some people check in with people by text now. Some people email them. Some people check in on Facebook. There's different ways that you can do this. So when I say call, it isn't just necessarily a call. It can be done in different ways. Some people still send postcards and little thank yous, and that's just a higher touch kind of customer service. So, you know, here is an email. Again, you can shorten it for a text or a Facebook post, but going ahead and having a file of these kinds of things so that you can quickly do them. Again, if you can personalize them in some way and remember something about that one person and use their name in the email and your hostess's email, make sure you're not just cutting and copying from the party before and using the wrong hostess's name. But here's a little script that you can use in the email. It's also maybe something that gives you the script for you to say on the phone call. So just, you know, make it your own, personalize it so you feel comfortable with this. As I said, you know, I tweak things myself and I change things from time to time. And I'm always trying to analyze what did I do in the past that's still working now, and what is new now that I need to change to, because what I'm doing in the past, from the past, is no longer working. So here's a script for the phone call. I like the phrase, do you have a quick minute? I know that is a minute's a minute, but a quick minute means that you're going to try to respect their time and get on it and off quickly. Another thing that I try never to say is, are you busy? I don't know any women who aren't busy. And so another way to say it is, Are you interruptible? Do you have a minute for us to talk really quickly? I promise to keep this brief. Just little things that you can say that say you're going to respect their time, but try to avoid the whole, are you busy? Because when they say, yes, they're busy, then you need to respect their time and get off the call right away. But if you say, are you interruptible? Or do you have a quick minute? For just a brief phone call, I just want to check and make sure that everything was on your order correctly or whatever it is. Again, say thank you. Let them know when the products are going to be arriving. And if they need any recipes. Where it says if you need anything, I always substitute the words, if you need any recipes, ideas, things like that. So that, because if you say if you need anything, they might not understand that you're saying they can still add to their order, that they can book a party, they could, did you understand about the virtual shows, a Facebook show, whatever it is, and then also your number. Did you have time to put me into your contacts in your phone under Pamperdina, or can I send you my contact information right now? So those are just different things. Again, thank them again, keep it brief, and get off the phone. So then the next two in our 2-2-2 formula is 2 weeks after the party. This is time to see if they've gotten their box opened up and the product's out and that everything was good. You still have time to do the customer service with the free shipping on here. That's your big excuse to call. If there's something wrong, the company will pick it up from you, the hostess, or from me, and we can get it taken care of where you don't have to pay the shipping. People really appreciate this. So you are telling them why you're calling. You can also tell people that you're going to call in 2 weeks to make sure that the products are as promised, that they're using them, that they have those recipes and ideas for them, those kinds of things. And again, you're checking to see if they need anything else and to say thank you again. You don't have to say, do you want to have a party every time you talk to them. People really are great about volunteering that information. So again, we have the scripts that you need for those calls. You're kind of reiterating it, but your big thing is, did your products arrive unharmed, unscathed? Do you need anything to go back to the company? And then 2 months after the show, hopefully you've added them to your contact list. You want to connect with people again. If the season has changed, you want to offer them to send them a mini catalog or a link. Are they, reading your newsletters, things like that? And it's just another time. And you can tell people that you're going to contact them. And you can say, I'm not always perfect about 2-2-2, but what I try to do is check with you in 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months to make sure everything is satisfactory. Everything has a guarantee for at least a year with Pampered Chef, and I just like to check to make sure everybody's happy. And sometimes you end up having to do some customer service with this. And you can offer your own specials of the month, but again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just take a picture of the monthly special on your phone and you can text it to them and let them know what the specials are that month, and that they can, there's always the spend $75, get such and such for free, the guest specials. So just, and this changes from time to time on the dollars spent and what's for free or the discount or, things like that. But you could also have your own special if you wanted to. I don't usually do that. I usually just feature what the company offers because I think we have an excellent host program, an excellent guest special and hostess special each month. Okay, and then, here's the featured items, or maybe you're going to have a show at your home if there were a lot of people who came to a show but nobody booked, maybe you want to do a cooking night and invite them to that. Again, if you use this 222 call system, you will increase your retention and your business dramatically. So, here's another little idea. And, you can ask them right here about, they bought the large bar pan. Did you try the sliders? There's a new recipe for Philadelphia sliders that's made in our deep dish covered baker, but you could also make them in the large bar pan. Would you like me to send you that recipe? I send that cookbook around at my shows, and definitely this is the most popular recipe. Whoops. Okay. Okay. So I like, instead of, I like to have an idea of a recipe, and I key in on their items that they bought. So, if I'm really working my business, I can have, a split screen on my computer, or I've looked through the sales receipt and I saw what people buy. And then also you can call me if you need any refunds, but you can also give them home office's phone number. And especially if it's something that they didn't get from you, and just say, our home office has a field of detectives, and they are so good at hunting down people's receipts. If you can just remember a hostess's name that you might have bought it from, a neighbor who sold, who the consultant might be, how long ago you bought it, the different emails that you might have had, they are really good about helping people find their receipt and letting people know if things are still under warranties. Also talking about the season changeover, September and March. If we have a new line that's coming out for Christmas or for the summer, what that is. And then talk about your theme shows. Use theme shows names. People are more likely to have a show for Cooking for One or Two as a theme show, or a Busy Moms show, if you have a cute little name for it and call it a theme show. You can also, see if people bought consumable items, and those, of course, are seasoning and our mixes and things like that. But you can also check if they had an old ice cream dipper that needs to be replaced. You can check if they had flexible cutting mats that have seen a better day and they need to get new cutting mats. So, if they need any replacement parts for their food chopper, like a collar or the wire on their egg slicer. So you can take a look at that. Of course, if they bought the Rock Crock, you want to introduce to them the base, and that's available and all the different things that they can do with that. I know we had a fun fondue party with the base at home office last week when I was at executive seminar, and it was really great that, they used our little coating trays for different toppings, and then they had the fondue, marshmallows, graham crackers, all kinds of fun stuff, fresh fruit to dip in the fondue that they had made in the Rock Crock. So again, don't freak out. These are just conversations. Remember, I like to call them chats. They're just chatting with people, and you are trying to help them. If you make it about you, they're going to resent the phone calls. If you make it about them, they're going to appreciate the fact that you gave them a call. So we're still working on our skills here. We have to work on our will to pick up the phone, make a text, do an email, decide we're going to try this. Obviously, our passion for whatever is new and the recipes, and just that we care about our customers' needs and that they don't have to pay any extra shipping, that's going to shine through, and the belief that this works. So, right now it's kind of a quadrant of how these all merge together and help you be successful in the business. But skills are a major component of your success. So the skill of talking on the phone. I know my kids are a part of that millennial group, and they don't like to talk on the phone. They're great about texting me. I get texts all day long. They check in on Facebook. They post things. But trying to get them on the phone to go over details can be tricky. And so again, this is kind of a skill kind of thing where you're working, maybe you haven't been used to picking up the phone because you're like my kids, or you feel like nobody wants to talk to you. You're building this skill. You're going to build a bigger team. You're going to build a bigger paycheck, and you're going to build a really nice rapport with your customers and hostesses, and that's going to feel really good. All right. So skills are the easiest pillar in our business because you can just practice them. And they're giving us all the words here. This is definitely something that you can listen to on home office and watch the trainings on. They're in the Pampered Chef University. Of course, you can attend conference. They often have workshops just on this topic. And you can look and Google things online as well. There's lots of directors out there doing trainings like I'm doing tonight, and maybe they just tweak it a little bit and you hear different words that they use. Again, don't spend too much time trying to get it perfect. Jump in there and do it. Enthusiasm covers a lot of mistakes, and people sometimes get so caught up on being perfect that they don't ever practice. They don't ever do it. So skills are easily taught and easily caught, and you can do this. So I'm going to unmute right now and ask if there's any questions. Yeah. So I think you're going to have to unmute yourself. Okay. No? Tonight we don't have a little unmute. There it is. Hey!
Yes.
Hey, Nancy. All right. Were there any questions on tonight's 221 customer care calls?
I'm sure I'll have some later.
Yeah.
Hey, Robin. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Dina and Dana.
Hello. Hello. All right. Some later. Of course, there's like homework and links and stuff, so that kind of makes it live. Hopefully, people are having a nice time watching those videos. I know I'm learning stuff from them as well too. So, anything you tried last week that worked? Well, I guess it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We were going over recruiting. It's just a conversation. The digital. Downloading the digital recruiting cards into your phone or your iPad and iBooks. Anybody? Nope. All right. Well, I'm going to post. Oops. Go ahead.
Sorry. The only good thing that's happened for me is Sunday I have a vendor booth coming up.
Yay.
My first one.
Woohoo. Okay. Remember, there's a bunch of training on allstaratlas.com.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually had my first vendor's booth, and the day after I got diagnosed with Parkinson's, but everybody was really accommodating and it was wonderful. I only did $32 worth of sales, but I've got 100 slips, drawing slips that I'm going through, and I've got so far 5 people that are interested in recruiting. So instead of trying to talk to people on the phone and stammering and studying, I sent out emails, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So Nancy, pull your director in with this too and have her help you with those recruit leads. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm going to get set up for the next phone call that starts in 8 minutes, the Director Brown program. Some of the stuff on this Director Brown is what we did last week. So remember, you can go back at any time and yes, I'm going to show the homework. So hang on. New share. Okay. All right. Okay, so homework is going to be to practice the 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months. So Nancy, believe it or not, you can do the 2-month check-in call with these 100 slips and ask them if they bought any Pampered Chef in the last year, because everything is still under warranty.
Okay.
So maybe you can create a little email on that if that's more comfortable for you. You know, adapt it to yourself and just say, hey, I do customer service for anybody. Because when you do customer service, it connects them to you and you become their Pampered Chef hero or their Pampered Chef consultant for life. So remember, you can still check in with anybody that you get a drawing slip with and just see if they bought any Pampered Chef in the last year that needs customer service, because you can help them get things taken care of automatically. And if they say, oh, well, I got a stone, and you go, oh, well, there's a 3-year warranty on that. So that's one way to reach out and connect people to you. So again, being able to say thank you and gratitude. So we're connecting and we're helping. That's what it should feel like. It should feel like genuine caring, not rushing to there isn't anything else I can do for you. People are really good about speaking up. When they want something for you, oh yeah, I went to work and everybody decided we want to have a show. That's the first thing out of their mouth when they call. You know, but if they start looking for their Pampered Chef consultant, and this happened to me recently, in fact, in January, I did one of my best hostesses. I talked to a gentleman about having a show. He went back. I did not call him. I did send some stuff to him by email and Facebook, but his wife went to work and found another consultant. Then that consultant wasn't able to do the date that they wanted to do it, and they did come back to me, and I ended up having a $2,700 show with them. It was ridiculous, but it wasn't pretty, and if I would have connected in 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months, I would have for sure had that booking in the first place. So, in the end, I had to do it on a Sunday afternoon, which I don't like to do. I don't usually work on Sundays, and I was crabby about that, but it was a $2,700 show. So, still don't like to do shows on Sundays. But that's just me. Expand the possibilities, you know, that's where you add those specials, anything you're doing at your own home that you want to invite them to, any new theme shows you're introducing, anything that you think they might enjoy. Of course, you can always ask if they want a new recipe. And then the final one is F, future contact. Follow back up with their wish list. So if you don't know how to add a wish list item on your software program, you know, you can just, if people are circling things that they're not buying, ask them if they will open up and start a wish list. It's so much easier if the customer does it. Again, if you're doing easy checkout, where express checkout, easy express checkout, this is a great way for them to add things to their wish list because they've already got their account open and ready. So then again, that you can contact them when new products come out, and would they like to have a link to the new product catalog. So here's a video, YouTube for you to watch, and it's linked as well. And just go ahead and watch that on customer care. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah. The Facebook. Okay, and again, this is your own personal challenge. You know, I started this call by talking a little bit about how people are afraid to commit, and that this commitment should be from yourself, but just keep pressing forward and answer these questions, and you'll be in great shape. Okay, keep calm and thank you for attending. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.